here with Michele Knotz, voice actress
Hi.
from roles such as...
Hajime Yagi in the world of Naraway, Takako Kawashima in Street Fighter Tekken. In Pokemon, I played May, Jessie, Nurse Joy, the Pokedex, and various Pokemon, Piplup, Manaphy, Gardevoir, so many others. The third, the girl with the blue eye, I play Cindy, Rosalie, Greta, and the little fairy. And in Kujibiki Unbalanced, I play Koyuki Asagiri. And in Genshiken, I play Ogio Ichika. Oh, I voiced the Pokemon trainer in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, as well as Squirtle. A lot of people don't, they think it's somebody else. No, that's me! And a bunch of different Pokemon in the game.
So we're going to talk conventions. So what was your first convention?
My first convention as an attendee?
Attended, yeah.
I actually started going to conventions as an attendee, and then before I became a guest. I think my first convention was, Anime Expo when it was in New York.
Right.
Because I think they have Anime Expo in California.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Anime Expo in New York in 2002. I think it was. That was a while ago. I think it was in 2002 in New York. The Marriott? I think it might have been at the Marriott Hotel. And I didn't cosplay or anything like that because that was like my first convention to go to. I went with my very good friend Renee and her boyfriend at the time, Tom, and her brother, Jamie. So the four of us went, and it was really cool. It was a different experience because we started to watch anime in college, but before that, like, I would watch like Voltron and Speed Racer and stuff like that when I was a kid, and I didn't even realize it was anime. I didn't even realize that it was from Japan. I'm just like, oh cool, Voltron, yay, you know. So we started to get into anime more in like high school and college, and yeah, 2002. That was our first convention as an attendee.
Now, if I remember the story right, there was a contest that they had there.
That was in 2003.
Oh, that's right. That was
later, because then, because I was working in news at the time. I worked at a CBS and an NBC affiliate, but then I got another job at MSNBC in New Jersey when I moved back to Jersey, and I didn't want to work in news anymore. I hated it. Like, it just wasn't my thing, and that's where when we started to go to the conventions more in 2002, and we learned more about voice acting, and I was really interested in it. So I'm like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to work in this field anymore. And my really good friend Renee, she's like, you're at a really rough place in your life right now. It's like, this is what you really want to do and pursue. And she heard about this contest first. She told me about it, and I'm like, let me try it. That was the Big Apple Anime Fest in 2003, and that's where I got my part as Hajime Yagi in the world of Naraway. And I'm like, people do this, as a living, as a job. And so it all kind of started from there.
Did you go to the convention knowing about the contest, or? Yes. Okay.
I knew about the contest. I looked it up online, and I said, "This is," because you had to prepare for it. You needed a monologue.
Right.
So I prepared a monologue, and I prepared it from an anime because I thought it would fit more. Some people did like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and some people did other monologues from different books or plays or things. And I did a scene from Excel Saga. And they were like, oh, an anime monologue at an anime contest, so they thought it was really cool, that it made sense. So yeah, that's what I did, and I won the contest, which was awesome. So I got a role in that, but I actually wanted to pursue it, because sometimes people, they'll win contests, and you win a role, and then go back to the regular job. But I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. So I did all the preparations to move forward. I made a demo, got a great voice coach, and it all kind of blossomed from there.
Now, what was the first convention you were invited to as a guest?
The first one I was invited to as a guest, I believe was Anime Next. In New Jersey. It was in Secaucus at the time, because they moved it to Somerset in New Jersey. I'm trying to remember what year. It might have been 2004, I think. I think that was after when I worked on that show. It might have been 2004 or 2005. I'm trying to remember. I'd have to probably look through my books and stuff. Because that's when, I just had a couple roles under my belt. I did Street Fighter Tekken, and I did the World of Naraway. Well, I did Norway first, but and then AnimeCons was like, oh, cool, you're new into the industry, you're starting to get into it, so we want to have, so they had some other guests who were, you know, veterans, and then they wanted some new people to come in, like, you just started to get into it, and like, that was before Pokemon and everything, so then, once that hit, it was just like, can you come to our con? Can you come to our con? Hey, can you come to our con? I was like, ah!
What was your reaction to being invited the first time?
It was really cool. I was overwhelmed. It was awesome because I love cons. And going as an attendee is like so much fun. And going as a guest, like you get to see more behind the scenes stuff. Like you get to be more in contact with the staff. Like usually staff, like you'll see if you go into the deals room, you see like con security or con safety or something. And like, oh, let me check your bags. You're not stealing anything. But you get to see more like what goes on behind the scenes. And if you need to get out of a tight situation, the staff is always there to help you. So staff at cons are great. They're awesome.
Now, you've done panels at a lot of conventions, obviously.
Yes.
And so what are some of the questions that you like to get at these panels?
I do a lot of like voice acting panels. So a lot of questions I get are like, how do you get into the industry? And I like to help people. I really, really like to help people to get into the industry because it's good to have kind of like somebody to look up to or a mentor and to give you the right information. Like some people do like discourage people or they give the wrong information and they'll say, you know, you're never going to make this. You're never going to get into it. Don't even pursue it. You know, and I don't like that kind of attitude. I like to help people and say, you know, you can do this, you know, if you put the right amount of effort into it. So I like getting questions like how to get into it, and I like to, you know, tell them, you know, the process of going into it. I said, this is what you need to do, you know. And whether they want to listen to me or not, that's their choice. But, you know, I like to give the facts more. I don't like to be fake to anybody. So, and I like to help people, you know. And if I can see that somebody really has talent, you know, like, I'm like, you should go for it, you know? You should totally, if this is what you want to pursue. Never give up! Listen, kids, never give up on your dreams!
Now, on the other end, are there any questions you're tired of hearing? And any that you get, and it's like, oh, this question again.
How much money do you make? Oh. I was actually asked how, I don't even know how much like my friends make, like in their, oh, I'm an accountant, or oh, I'm an architect, or something like that. I don't even know how much my friends make, and I don't ask them. But it's so funny when people will come up to you and say, you know, I was wondering how much you make. Like, what do you say to that? You know, I'm like, well, I'm not really supposed to discuss that. It's kind of, you know, we're not really supposed to talk about money. So those kind of questions, please don't ask them. So we don't like to talk about, you know, the money thing.
Now, are there any conventions you'd like to go to, or any regions of the country?
Anime Boston. I've never been a guest at Anime Boston. I love Boston. It's so cool around there. It's like, it's kind of like New York, but like there's a different feel to it. But I love Boston. I've been to like tons of cons on the East Coast. I've been like up to Portland, Maine, down to Florida, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Jersey, obviously, Maryland. Oh no, wait, I haven't been to Otakon. That's right, I haven't been to Otakon yet as a guest. I went as an attendee to Otakon for like a couple of years, I think. But I'd love to go to Anime Boston as a guest. I'd love to go to Anime Vegas. I have never been to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, and I'd love to check out Vegas. I'd love to be at Anime Vegas. I think one of the actors out there was trying to get me and Bill Rogers to go to Anime Vegas, and they're like, oh, we already have our guest list and everything. So we're like, oh, okay, but they tried.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hearts.